In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the United States witnessed the birth of a new and unprecedented phenomenon, the billionaire. Never before had individuals accumulated such immense personal wealth. These fortunes did not emerge by accident. They were the result of rapid industrialization, weak regulation, and the rise of massive corporations that reshaped the nation's economy. America's first billionaires became symbols of ambition, innovation, and power, but also of inequality and controversy. The conditions that made billionaires possible developed after the Civil War. The country expanded westward. Railroads connected distant regions, and factories replaced small workshops. Natural resources such as oil, coal, iron, and timber were abundant. Labor was cheap, supplied by millions of immigrants seeking opportunity. In this environment, those who controlled production and transportation gained extraordinary advantages. John D. Rockefeller is often considered the richest American in history and the closest to a true first billionaire by modern standards. Through Standard Oil, Rockefeller dominated the oil industry using ruthless efficiency. He secured secret railroad rebates, cut prices to destroy competitors, and bought out rivals who could not survive his tactics. By the 1880s, Standard Oil controlled nearly all oil refining in the United States. Rockefeller's wealth was so vast that, adjusted for inflation, it surpassed that of any modern billionaire. Steel produced another titan. Andrew Carnegie rose from poverty as a Scottish immigrant to build the largest steel empire in the world. By mastering efficiency and vertical integration, Carnegie controlled iron mines, railroads, coal fields, and steel mills. His steel built America's bridges, railways, and skyscrapers. Yet his fortune came at a cost. Workers labored long hours under dangerous conditions, and attempts to unionize were met with violence. Most notably during the Homestead Strike of 1892, railroads created fortunes of their own. Cornelius Vanderbilt transformed shipping and rail transportation, consolidating routes and crushing competitors. Control of railroads meant control of commerce itself. Farmers and small businesses depended on access to rail lines, allowing railroad magnates to dictate prices and terms. Vanderbilt's wealth made him one of the most powerful men of his era. Behind many of these industrial giants stood powerful financiers. J.P. Morgan was not a manufacturer, but a master of finance. He reorganized failing companies, stabilized markets, and consolidated industries. During financial crises, Morgan's personal intervention often prevented economic collapse. His influence was so great that his decisions could shape the national economy, rivaling the authority of the federal government. The rise of America's first billionaires came with extreme inequality. While industrialists built lavish mansions, millions of workers lived in poverty. Child labor was widespread, workplace accidents were common, and job security was minimal. Wealth concentrated at the top, while wages stagnated below. Many Americans began to question whether democracy could survive such imbalance. Public resistance grew. Workers organized labor unions. Farmers demanded regulation of railroads. Journalists, known as muckrakers, exposed corruption and monopoly practices. Ida Tarbell's investigation into Standard Oil revealed the aggressive tactics that built Rockefeller's empire. Turning public opinion against unchecked corporate power, political pressure led to reform. Antitrust laws such as the Sherman Act sought to limit monopolies, though enforcement was initially weak. During the Progressive Era, the federal government began to challenge the power of billionaires more directly. President Theodore Roosevelt earned a reputation as a trust buster, signaling that even the richest men were subject to the law. In later years, some of America's first billionaires turned to philanthropy. Carnegie funded libraries, schools, and universities. Rockefeller supported medical research and education. Supporters argued that their wealth ultimately benefited society. Critics countered that philanthropy could not erase the damage caused by exploitation and monopoly. The legacy of America's first billionaires is deeply complex. They helped build a modern industrial nation, driving innovation and growth. At the same time, they exposed the dangers of unchecked capitalism and concentrated power. Their lives raised questions that remain relevant today. How much wealth is too much? And who should control the resources of a nation? America's first billionaires did more than accumulate money. They reshaped the economy, politics, and culture of the United States. Their story is not just about riches, but about power, responsibility, and the enduring struggle to balance opportunity with fairness.